Excited to see you. Getting ready for you. Let's see. There we are. And hi. Welcome to our beautiful new moon ceremony for the month of September. We are in Libra season. Hi everybody. Let me get my camera clear and focused. Hold on. Come to me, camera. Can you guys see me okay? Am I clear for you or am I pixelated kind of? Can you guys see me clearly? I can see me clearly on my camera, but on the live it looks a little, let's see. Can you guys see me? Is it clear for you? Okay, good. Well, then I'm gonna, okay, there we are. I'm like, I look kind of, no one happened there. Okay, we're good. So welcome. I'm so excited for tonight. And I love Libra season because it's a reprieve from Virgo season. So, and it's clear all the way to Australia for Lisa Willem, so that makes me happy. I'm so happy to see you guys. Cheryl's there, Carolina's there, Rosie and Hunter, and BJ's there, and Michelle, and Leah, and Lynette, and Camille. The whole crew is here. So anyway, thank you for joining me this evening. We have a really fun ceremony ahead. I have some things to tell you. For the first time ever, I think our new moon kit is either, for next month, is either sold out or on the doorstep. There were 10 left last hour when I checked, which is a new kind of record. You guys were on it tonight. So if you want a new moon set for October, might be a good idea to head to sagegoddess.com. I think the reason you guys were into it is it comes with a free pendulum and a custom pendulum mat. And I know how much you guys love divination, and next month is like all shadowy and Samhain, and so the snake kit for next month's new moon in Scorpio. We're on the doorstep of that now. We have Libra Scorpio medicine this weekend, right? But next month it's Scorpio proper. I know. Did you see what did you see what Gabriel did with the art? All of our art is originally created here at SG, and I just thought what he did with, it's like Athena meets Medusa meets I don't know what, snake priestess. It's pretty magical. Anyway, when the kit sells out, the only thing I'm able to keep, okay, there's 9 left if you want a kit for next month. The code is newmoon18, and you get a free double terminated crystal as my gift today, which is kind of cool. When the kit sells out, I am able to keep about 4 dozen bottles of Uncoil, which is the perfume for next month with the art on it, snake perfume, in stock, because I'm able to make more perfume than I am able to make pendulum mats. Might not seem like this is a lot of work, but it takes forever for us to print these at Sage Goddess because we do it in-house. So anyway, enjoy. I'm glad I have a little snake ring on tonight because there's some snaky medicine this weekend too, and we'll talk about that. Did you get one from the gem sale? I'm stoked for you, E. Maisie, because it's like, that is like, that ring was pretty remarkable, and it's the one I'm wearing tonight, so I'm glad you got that one. Okay, tonight's kit is sold out, but we were able to put Raven perfume back in stock. So this is Raven potion that we're going to be using tonight, and the tray. By the way, these trays are also custom made at SG. So you can get the tray and the perfume from tonight's kit, or just the perfume, but that's all that's left. And then the last thing I wanted to tell you is, but this is a huge announcement, one of the code is newmoon18 for 18% off, and you get the double terminated crystal without a code. So you don't need a code for that. The last thing I wanted to tell you is that one of the most important perfumes I ever created, we had to discontinue for a long time. It's called Magica Rosa. And my hardcore people already know, because it's already a third gone, and I haven't talked about it yet. So we snuck it back in stock today because we finally got the missing ingredient. There was a rose attar from India, you guys, that they stopped producing. Magica Rosa is my perfume for heart healing and healing from trauma. I have clients who work with Magica Rosa with soldiers coming out of battle who have PTSD. I mean, the stories I could tell you about Magica Rosa. Magica Rosa is one of the first perfumes I ever created. It's my husband's favorite. Out of everything I've ever made, Magica Rosa is his favorite. It does not smell like your grandmother's tea rose perfume. This is like on a whole different level because it's blended with the rose petals plus the rose hips and the leaves and the stems. So it's the entire rose flower distilled, including all parts of the rose, including the thorns. Okay? So anyway, if you have never worked with Magica Rosa or if you've been waiting for it, it's back in stock, but it's almost last call because a third of it's gone from what we were able to remake. I know. If you don't know what Magica Rosa is, just if you can go with me for the journey, trust me, and just get a bottle. This is the accurate original formulation, and we haven't had it in forever. If you have healing to do around trauma and loss in particular, lineage stuff, ancestral healing, right? Like that's, so I'm just letting you know, like it's a good night for SG. We have Raven Potion, we have Magica Rosa, we have Uncoil. So whether you're looking for snake medicine or Raven medicine or healing medicine from trauma and PTSD, well, Rosie, but here's the thing. Everybody who has allergies to roses isn't allergic to this. It's not the same. It's not the same. And it's big magic. It's old magic. It's old SG magic. So, and there are some people who they love the old. Like the new is special too, but there's something about the original work, and that's one of the originals. I know. We can only make so little of it that we can't do samples of it. So you have to get the whole bottle. But just trust me, SG put the link up. Like, don't miss it. I don't tell you that very often. Magica Rosa is one not to miss. Dea is another one not to miss. We were able to put the last of Armatus back in stock because one of the ingredients for that is gone. So we always try to tell you guys. Okay, so the full snake kit is now sold out, so you can get uncoiled perfume. So you have part of the magic of the energy for next month. This is the first time ever in the history of SG that the New Moon kit sold out before the New Moon ritual for me to tell you about it. So anyway, our community is growing, so it's just a heads up to you, like when you want things, hop to it. Everything goes live every day, 365 days a year. Everything goes live at Sage Goddess at 7 a.m. Pacific time. So what people do is they set their phone alarms and they go and great. And if it's not for you, great. I mean, everything's great. There's never enough to go around anyway, so it's okay. If it wasn't for you, it's not your medicine. It's really true. Do you know what a blessing it is for me to be able to say that to you? Like I will never look in the camera and say, everybody should just go and get this thing. It's not for everybody. And if you miss it, it wasn't for you. And like, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? Like you'll feel it. It's an energetic thing. But I really don't think everything is for everyone. And I don't ever have enough for everybody anyway. So that's a heads up. The crystal in my hand, what's in my hand? I don't know. Oh, this one. Okay. So this is a surprise. So for someone who gets the kit next month, either the perfume, the uncoiled perfume, or the whole kit, I'm sending this in their order. So I wanted to show it to you. I brought this back from Denver in my purse. It is a naturally double terminated quartz point with phantoms. I don't know if you can see the lines in there. And I did ceremony with this piece today. And I set the intention that the person who receives this, I mean, it is a scanner crystal. This is a magical crystal. I set the intention that whoever receives this, that they can use this as a wishing crystal, a manifestation crystal. It's actually a very light citrine. Double term, natural double term with phantoms. I know. I don't even know what it's worth. I picked it and put it in my purse, and I brought it home for tonight, last month. So somebody's going to get this in their package, and I'm super stoked for you. Look at the markings and the phantoming. It's like, it's insane. This piece is insane. So enjoy. You don't have to have a code or anything. I'm just going to choose one of the New Moon kits or the New Moon perfume for next month. So if you didn't get the kit, you can just get the perfume and you're still entered. I have a feeling somebody who just gets the perfume is going to win this. Is that weird? Like, I don't think it's somebody who gets the whole kit. Just have a feeling. Okay. When I cherry pick something, there's always a reason. And for me to carry that all the way home in my purse, as I didn't do that with most things, I put it on the truck, right? So it's like, that one was different. But that's what keeps this work, you know. I've been doing this for a lifetime, and a lot of people are like, how do you still stay interested in it and like excited about it? And that's because I never get bored. You know, there's always some new magic unfolding in every moment, right? Yeah, just get the perfume. I have a feeling somebody who just gets the perfume. I don't know who's going to win it. I let spirit guide that choice, but it's kind of fun. And one of the reasons I do a lot of giveaways is my spirit guides. It's part of my mission is to get crystals into people's hands. And, you know, some people, if I offered that crystal for sale, some people couldn't afford it, but might need it. And so when I do a giveaway, it allows people who couldn't afford that to get it. And I think that that's part of my job, right? All right. So let us begin. I want to talk to you about Raven medicine tonight. I'm really excited. So this is her. I don't know about you, but I feel like I know her. I feel like I shapeshift into her this time of year. And that's Gabriel. That's his original art too, by the way. It's fun to be a fly on the wall in those meetings because he and I, it's like a meeting of these artistic minds. So tonight we are scrying to get some information and some insight because Raven is the messenger. Raven is the keeper of secrets. And isn't she beautiful? So tonight the question is, there's a couple of questions under this new moon in Libra transiting to Scorpio, right? What do you need to know that you don't know yet? What messages do you need to receive? Sometimes we block the messages, we block the flow because we don't want to hear or because it's hard to hear. Because sometimes the message, if we hear clearly from spirit, then we have to do something about it. You know what I mean? And that feels like pressure. So sometimes we don't want to hear. It's like la, 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 la to the universe. But that doesn't work for very long because we need to hear. Spirit's trying to communicate with us. And so part of my work with you tonight is to open your channel so that you can, if your spirit gift is to hear, then tonight I want you to hear. If your spirit gift is to feel, I would love it if you could feel tonight. If your spirit gift is to sense, you know, I hope you sense tonight. Whatever your spirit gift is, like open your channels tonight and make a commitment to hear, to feel, to see, to sense, to taste, to smell. Your spirit guides are trying to communicate with you all the time. And I have a lot of people who say to me, like, I don't know how my spirit guides are communicating with me, or I don't see them. Is there something wrong with me? You're only going to see your spirit guides if you're clairvoyant. If you're clairaudient, you're not going to see them, you're going to hear them. If you're clairsentient, you're not going to see or hear them, but you're going to feel them. If you're clairalient, you're not going to see, hear, or feel them, but you're going to smell them. I have clairalients. If you're clairgustant, you're not going to see, hear, smell, or feel them, but you're going to taste them. I'm not clairgustant, but some people are clairgustant. They tend to be the chefs and the cooks of this life. And we look around at chefs and cooks and people who work with taste and we think, oh, they're just working food. No, they don't. They're alchemists, right? They know how to work with the life force, right? They know how to consume magic. That's a gift of its own, right? Sarah Lucas says she's not clear anything. I would bet you that you are. Like, I bet if you came and spent a few days with me, we could get to the bottom of what your clarity is. But everybody has a gift. They either feel, sense, claircognizance, right? Taste, smell, see, hear. Your spirit guides communicate with you in a way that that's clear for you. But you just have to pay attention to that, right? It's interesting, right? Goosebumps are clairsentience and claircognizance. Like when you get the little up your spine, that's sentience and cognizance. Like you're sensing something that your other senses can't keep up with. And that's kind of magical too, right? And so Christine's asking, how do you find your gift? Pay attention. Pay attention. For a long time, I thought I was just an empath. I thought that all empaths felt what I felt. I can feel if there's a spirit in the room. And I can feel what's coming. I can feel what's coming for myself. I can feel what's coming for the planet. I can feel what's coming for you. But I thought everybody had that. Not everybody has that. Empaths just feel everything. But it's not a forward feeling. It's not like a feeling of what's going to happen. It's what is, right? Right? Well, Audrey said she was more open in her teen years. I think a lot of us were. And then we get shut down, you know, like people saying, oh, that's not real, or that's dangerous, or that's the devil, or whatever. And then we shut it all down. Yeah, so that clairvoyance is also out of the corners of your eyes because your peripheral vision is easier to access. Remember this, and this is important for us to share maybe tonight because we're talking about Raven. Remember this, that everything magical is actually, it's quantum physics. It's not woo-woo or airy-fairy. In order for you to see me and for me to see this table and for me to hold this crystal, its vibration has to slow down. And so the reason that most of us can't see our spirit guides is that they're at a vibrational frequency that's invisible to the human eye. Animals can see higher frequencies than we can, which is why your cats will or like deer, or animals that are able to function and discern at a higher frequency will see and sense things that you can't see. And that's why plant medicine raises your frequency to be able to align you to a higher frequency that you can see faster moving particles. All you are is a big set of moving particles, and they're moving slow enough that I can see you, right? So when you die, your soul leaves your body and is able to vibrate at a frequency that it can once again see everyone in the spirit realm. And that's why you're able to go home and reunite and, be connected back to your universal community in the stars. But here, you have to vibrate slow enough to have a body, which means, it's hard to see. But a lot of us are learning how to raise our frequency enough that we can still stay human. It's hard, but we can still stay human and yet peer into the spirit world. And that's the goal. And that's why we use crystals intentionally. I mean, really clear quartz like this raises your frequency. But you don't want to do it before bed because too high of a frequency makes it hard to sleep, right? So good, you guys. Loving you tonight and grateful for you. Okay, so tonight we're going to use our scrying candle. We're going to use Raven Potion, which is what's still available in the shop for you tonight if you're called to it. We're going to use 2 different stones tonight for channeling, which is Merlinite, also known as Mystic Gabbro. Merlinite's kind of like the commercial trade name for Mystic Gabbro, and then Obsidian. And Mystic Gabbro is the magician stone. It's perfect Raven medicine. And then Obsidian is about clearing, releasing, and that's part of the new moon work that we have to do. And your tray is just a fun place to house everything, and also pretty because you can connect with her. Notice she had to close her human eyes in order to open her seeing eye. And so I would invite you don't have to close your eyes tonight, but if you want to, why not? Because a lot of times it's easier to see with your psychic senses when you close these human things. Did you not get a tray, Cecilia? I will make that right for you. If you ordered a tray, you should have gotten a tray, and we will fix that. Not right this minute, but shortly for you. Team SG, can you remind me? The tray may have been separate. I think the tray may have been separate, you guys. It may have been get the kit, get the tray, or get the tray with the kit. It may have been separate. So Team SG will remind us shortly. Oh, the trays just went on sale tonight. I did not know that. I thought they were part of the original kit. Well, there you go. That's why you didn't get a tray. So if you want a tray now, they're there tonight. Oh, okay, it was just an add-on. Well, now you know what it looks like. Sorry for alarming you. But there it is, in case you want one, and those are in stock. I just work here. I see all the things, but sometimes I don't know how it all breaks down. So that's good for all of us to be aware. Okay. So tonight's work is candle scrying, the narrowing of some chords for you, releasing energy, and then setting intentions aligned with this Libra and later in the weekend Scorpio new moon window. So I'm going to go ahead and open our circle. Invite you to roll your shoulders back, call your energy into present time, being fully present in this moment, connecting with the energy of this new moon. And remember, you only get really 12 to 13 opportunities a year to set intentions with fuel from the universe to support you. You can dream big any day, anytime, anywhere, all year long. But at the new moon, the entire universe like swoops in and surrounds you to support you in what you want to co-create. It's the cosmic blank slate. And I always say this, but I see people on Instagram and different parts of social media who are doing other things at the new moon that aren't releasing and setting intentions. It's really all we do tonight. It's the blank slate, it's the dark sky. It is the perfect time to release, though. So that's why we're going to release before we set intentions. I want you to go weightless with me tonight. I want you to think about Raven. I want you to focus on Raven energy for just a moment. We have a family of ravens who lives in a tree across the street, and they're always coming and saying hi to us. By the way, always be nice to ravens, because ravens remember who you are. Ravens remember if people are rude to them. Like, they will come over. We had a raven family in the Bay Area that lived in a tree near our house. And we had, I was always talking to them and leaving bread out and communicating with them. One day, the neighbor kids, teenagers, right, they came over, and I saw like them throwing things at the ravens, like throwing things up at the tree. I asked them to stop. And I told them, I'm like, ravens, they look at you. Pay attention when a raven looks at you. You can almost see the wheels spinning in their eye. They take a picture, and they remember who you are and what you do. Ravens and crows, and they come back, and they I always joke they'll come back and like shit on your car or something. But ravens know who's kind and who's not kind. They pay attention. They watch behavior. They really pay attention to human beings. And that's why I always say, like, they're very, very smart. they're very worthy of your affection. And they really are the messengers of the spirit world, I believe. Okay. So I want you to begin tonight thinking about calling your energy into present time as we call in the guardians of the directions now and begin our ceremony. We are in September. This is harvest season, and we're getting ready to enter the season of rest in the northern hemisphere. What is your deepest desire as we head into this season? What do you really want to inspire, co-create? What do you want to call into yourself tonight? And remember the energy of this astrological moment too. Libra, where we are now, is about balance. It's about balancing the scales, which is really nice because it's a balance between your light and your shadow, right? Your light emotions, your positive emotions, and your negative emotions, and finding a balance between them, right? There's an energy of alignment. Libras love to connect. They love to listen. And so it's about, like, what do you need in terms of connection in your life? What would make you feel balanced and aligned? What's missing right now in your connections that would really feed your soul? And as you feel into that, I want you to give yourself full permission tonight to imagine what that would look and feel and taste and smell like if you had that level of connection, that level of relationship. What would that be like for you? And dream into that a little bit. Feel into that. Let yourself breathe some life into that. Right? Is it a person who's missing? Is it an energy stream that's missing? What do you need to give yourself permission to do, or to feel, or to find, or to explore, or to allow? Health and love, happiness, passion, more health, right? I'm Libra rising too, April Bobier. So if you're Libra rising, this is a particularly powerful moment for you, because your rising sign is how you present yourself to the world, and I present as a Libra. I'm not a Libra, so after you meet me and get to know me, you're like, no, she's a Leo. But, for a minute, I look like a Libra. Right? Is it a person? Is it an energy? Is it motivation? What is that? And knowing that you're worthy of all of those connections to manifest in your life. Like, the universe wants you to experience that level of deep connection. So whether it's Libra sun, rising, or moon in your chart, you are particularly well positioned for this work tonight. And rest in that, lean into that. So there'll be a time tonight when we come back and set those intentions for what you want to call in. Now, in order to get there, what are you going to have to let go of tonight? What big weight or obstacle or energy are you carrying around that might be preventing you from experiencing more of that? For a lot of us, it's a feeling that we're not worthy of it. We want the big love, right? We want the big, intense thing. And yet, if it's pedal to the metal, we don't think we're worthy of it. So letting go of betrayal, fear, letting go of not knowing, letting go of victimhood, letting go of seriousness. So many people, Wayne, oh my God, need to let go of seriousness. Like, we take ourselves so seriously that we prevent ourselves from experiencing magic. Right? So it's like, that's a big one for a lot of people. Old relationships, being lazy, letting go, again, control, insecurity, sadness, guilt, depression, fear, self-judgment, unforgiveness, grief, sorrow, failing again, ego, fear of failure, all right, like all those things. One of the things I try to do, and it's, for some people it's exciting in my life, and for some people they're like, I can only take you in little doses, but it's like, what a beautiful sunset, by the way, off to the west here. But one of the things I try to remind people in life is, just because you're all grown up, it doesn't mean that it has to be so serious. We have these rules and these structures and these, I can't do this, but I have to do that, and I want to do this, but I can't do that. And it's like, Libra wants to, like, mess that up a little bit. Libra's like, that isn't serving you anyway. Do you know what I mean? And so it's like, can you think freely enough tonight to get out of your own way? Like, what if you played more? What if you experimented more? What if you weren't afraid to fail? What if you played in your relationship? Right? What if you played outside of your relationship? Not trying to cause trouble, but I'm just saying, like, if I could squeeze you out of some of what's binding you up, you know what I mean? It's like, that's where that's where the juice is, to truth be told, right? It's really true. Playtime. So for some people, they're like, that's fun, but I can't really do that. And tonight I want you to think about, like, what would playtime look like for you, right? Kitty's like, squeeze me. You get over here, I squeeze you, right? It's the same. Playing and experimenting and feeling into things keeps you young. We age when we start thinking there's only one way to do things. And then we sort of become our own worst enemies, so to speak. Okay. So, I want to open our circle properly. Just saying. At some point, if you don't indulge these thoughts, you know what I mean? Like, later on in your life, you'll be like, I should have played more. I should have sort of bucked the rules more. I should have pushed the boundaries more. You know what I mean? So I want you to roll your shoulders back, call your energy into present time. I'm going to open our circle with all of you. I feel the energy is so beautiful tonight. We have quite a crew in the house this evening. Really thankful that you're there. So I want you to imagine that out of your left hand extends a beam of beautiful white light. hold that beam in your hand. Give it a texture and a dimension and a temperature. And I want you to imagine that beam of light leaving your left hand and encircling all of us who are gathered together tonight for ceremony. Around the world, we're crossing continents and oceans and spaces of time this evening. And I'm so grateful for your presence, as always. Watch that circle of light cross our beautiful planet. And when it comes back to you, it'll come back to you in your right hand. So receive that. Feel the temperature shift in your right hand now as the energy comes through. Both hands warming up. You might feel a little bit tingly as you're holding the energy of the circle in your hands. This teaches you what it feels like to hold energy. People say, hold space for me. What does that feel like? It feels like this. It feels like you cast a circle of light and you hold it in your hands and you allow that light to move up your central channel through your 7 physical chakras and then extending out beyond those chakras to your non-physical chakras, connecting you to the planetary energy systems. And as you receive that energy, really let it infuse into every cell of your body tonight. Imagine each cell of your body opening tonight on this new moon evening, receiving new energy streams of healing and prosperity, balance and playfulness and connection and intimacy, possibility, experimentation, open-mindedness. Like all of that's really well aspected tonight, getting into those deeper emotions as we push through this weekend towards Scorpio, planting deeper roots, allowing ourselves to transform and shapeshift and become a newer, brighter, more magical and mysterious version of ourselves. And so, Guardians of the East, we welcome you into the ceremony space this evening. So grateful for your presence. Welcoming a new beginning this evening, a reorientation to ourselves and to our power and to our own magic. We welcome you, Guardians of the Southern Gateway, energies of fire, transformation, courage, possibility, passion, and desire. There's pleasure in the South, and a lot of you need to kind of dig in there. And again, Libra's playful. She wants you to experiment and kind of see what feels good to you. So lean into that medicine this evening. It's a ticket to freedom for a lot of you that you're looking for. We welcome the Guardians of the South. Guardians of the West, the Water Gateway, the Healing Gateway. Tonight we open those portals and those doorways to emotional healing, allowing those energies to come through. Welcoming the Guardians of the Northern Gateway in for patience, for responsibility, for tenacity, for perseverance, for protection, for guidance, solidarity and stability in the North. We welcome you. And then the Guardians of the Vertical Gateways, the Guardians of the Upper World, the Akashic and Angelic Gateways, Star Gateways, access points to all the star dimensions, the Orion Gateway, the Sirian Gateway, all the way around. Calling in dimensional energies above the 5th dimension out to 6th, 7th, 10th, 14th, and 21st dimensions. Union of masculine and feminine in the upper gateways. We welcome you, and to the Guardians of the Middle World, which is us. Welcoming those guardians in, helping to connect us in this present moment. So grateful for our physical connection to each other. And then welcoming the Guardians of the lower realms, the plant kingdom, plant mineral kingdom, the ley lines, vortex points across our planet, the web of light that connects us all across continents and bodies of water, and the central channel down as it connects into the deepest depths of our planet, anchoring us in protection and love. We welcome you into the ceremony space, and thanking all the Guardians of the 7 sacred gateways for being with us this evening. And with that, our circle is open. So good. And those energy streams are always available to you. You know, you can even just do a meditation where you connect with the guardians of the lower realm to plug into the planetary matrices and connect in. Or you can connect just with the guardians of the middle realm to try and really sense and feel the other souls on the planet who are doing big work in alignment with you so that you know you're not alone. Or you can go into meditation and just connect with the guardians of the upper realms, going home to your star origins and feeling and connecting into the broadest wisdom in our universe and allowing yourself to channel what is coming through. It's like you have this around you all the time. And then it's important for you to remember that. I hope. Okay. So we begin. And I'm going to use our feather wand, if you have yours, to open a second circle now, because you can now use this as a tool to open the circle for yourself. It is double terminated, as it needs to be. The feather represents this Libra energy of clarity, right? Libras are very clear, and they're not attached to outcomes. So Libras are very content to let things unfold as they're meant to be, right? It's really true. So that's good medicine for you to work with, and we'll use this in just a few minutes to narrow some chords too. So I want to begin by lighting our candle. We're really going to work with our candle in a focused way tonight. And your candle was poured with all of the oils that are in your Raven blend, which is... What am I do with my notes for your Raven blend? Here it is. I don't want to miss anything. There we go. So in your Raven blend, it is patchouli, mugwort, and broom. Broom essential oil is almost impossible to find, and it makes you fly. That's why use this potion with caution. It has mugwort, which is pure. It has broom, which is pure. It has a belladonna derivative. It has tobacco absolute, and then blue lotus, which also makes you fly. So just a little goes a really long way. So light your candle. We're going to anoint with our potion. Isn't it beautiful? It's like this beautiful amber color. So just a drop at your wrist, and then a touch at your third eye for what you know. Opening that third eye wide tonight. Isn't it beautiful? Yeah, it's tobacco that you're smelling. Tobacco and mugwort, and then the blue lotus comes forward. And then a little at your wrists for where you go to bless your steps. So good. Wearing a little skin for you. It's a Raven New Moon. It is a very sexy new moon. I spilled oil all over my notes. My notebook ends up smelling really good. Well, the Raven is still left, I think. If you want the Raven perfume, that's still left. Everything else is gone, but I think the Raven is still there. At least a little bit of it was there. Okay. Now, what I want you to do first is I want you to do a little candle magic with me. A little scrying magic. So I want you have 2 wicks here, which represents the duality of Libra, right? Libra is the scales. It's the yes, no. Someone asked me a couple weeks ago how I would define a priestess. Like, what makes a priestess a priestess? And what I said is, most people on the planet are either or people, but priestesses are both and. We don't deny any possibility. Everything is available from our perspective, good and evil, right? Yes and no. Beauty and its opposite, because we believe in the Hermetic principles. So I want you to ask your spirit guides to come closer and to show you in these flames what Libra energy you need to see. What duality is trying to make itself known to you? Where do you need to do the both and in your life? And I'm going to go quiet for just a minute. And I want you to see if you can't discern something from those flames about where you need to embrace a dual perspective. Not black, not white. Somewhere in between. The shades of gray of your life. I love duality. I love breaking rules and boundaries and pushing past what other people think of as their limitations. So let's focus our attention there for a moment. Watch how those flames respond to each other. Like they're in relationship. And where might you find that relationship in your life, where one flame bends and the other flame bends to meet it? It reminds me of the twin flame energy, right? And so I want you to focus your vision now and set an intention for where and how you're going to indulge this duality in your life. You know, for some people, it's in their relationships and in their sexuality. For some people, it's in their profession. They have 2 different jobs and they're very different, and each job represents one facet of the personality. Or, you know, for some people, they've had 2 children and their 2 children are very different, so their children represent their binaries, you know? But isn't this interesting? And wouldn't it be a beautiful thing, you guys? And this is part of my intention for tonight. I want our planet to learn to embrace duality. You know what I mean? People often ask me, like, well, what political party are you? And I'm like, I'm all of them. I'm none of them. You know, like, why can't I? And certainly I would say in my own personal life, like, I identify as bisexual. So it's like, well, why can't I have everything? But some people are very afraid of that. Like, they feel safer when they're just like, I'm just this one thing and I don't do this other thing. Like, that's just who I am, you know? And it's like, I think real freedom it's not aligning. It's like, why can't you dance between and be one thing one day and something else the next day, right? It's like, why can't you dance? Do you have to be fixed, right? Why not? I mean, look, there's a lot of people who say, well, because you can't. Woo! I always say I eat at the whole buffet. I go to this part of the buffet, and then I go over to that part of the buffet. I like a buffet. It's true. But you know, those of us who eat all parts of the buffet can be quite threatening to people who only eat the prime rib. I'll just say. we make those people nervous. And aho to that. Okay, so now the next step of the process for us tonight is I want you to ask your spirit guides this question. And Raven, we ask that you come closer tonight. I want you to really imagine that raven tonight. I'll give you a visual. I want you to imagine that raven coming to you. And I want you to ask that raven tonight what you need to release in order to move into the spaces that we're talking about. What do you need to let go of in order to embody more of this balanced duality, this both and, this space of play, this dynamic energy? Because I promise you, there's so much creativity and excitement and possibility sitting underneath all your judgments. And if you can open that space, then you give other people permission to open it too. Because they're like, oh, well, she did it. I guess I can do it too, right? What do you need to release? What energy streams or cords do you need to let go of tonight in order to move into this space? Expectations, overindulgence. That's interesting too, right? Catholic guilt. Anyone? What needs to be What needs to be released or tightened or limited for you to, right? Self-doubt and fear, right? Changing the inner dialogue or the inner monologue, right? A lot of it's fear and unworthiness to that point. Beautiful. Okay. So I want you to focus on one tonight that you're willing to let go of. What is one feeling or one assumption that you have, or one belief that you have about yourself or your life that you need to let go of in order to move into what we're talking about? And let's call it a story. What's your story? Because a lot of you are stuck in stories. I get stuck in stories all the time. So, I mean, it's a human thing, right? But let's get out of the story for a minute. That's what Raven wants us to do. And so, Raven, show us this evening. Meet us third eye to third eye this evening. And help us to see what we need to let go of tonight in order to become liberated and free, to become the Libra, right? To become the one who liberates, who becomes free from constraints. Libra goes back to liber in Latin, which means free, right? Liberated. So you have to remember the roots of your words, which teach you about the medicine of each sign and what it ultimately can do for your stories. A lot of us have stories around failure or around, religion or around marriage or whatever these things are, or around what it means to be a mom or what it means to be a teacher or what it means, it's like we have the stories. What's one story that maybe we can give to Raven tonight to take upon his wing and fly away, right? Okay, so one of the things you can do with a selenite wand, which is really beautiful, is you can identify, and usually your cords attach at your solar plexus, which is 2 finger widths above your belly button. So right here is where my solar plexus is. And so you can feel the cord. Like if you have a cord of judgment or a cord of unworthiness or a cord of not being worthy of love or worthy of freedom, or right? So accurate and so true for many of us, right? I have the same cord. It's one of my core wounds, right? And so I want you to visualize that cord now that you have connected to that energy stream of unworthiness, whatever that story is for you. It might be rooted in childhood or your teen years or your first marriage or whatever it is. I don't care what it is. I don't have a judgment around that. But isolate that cord around that story. It might feel really big because it's probably a story you've been telling yourself for a long time. And so I want you to imagine the width and the diameter of it. And then with our selenite wand, one of the things we can do moving clockwise is we can narrow that cord. We can start to siphon the energy off. I don't like to cut cords, but I love to narrow them. And so it takes a cord that's about this big and it sort of tightens the energy flow. So it has less control. It doesn't mean you don't learn from it, you're not working with it, but it does mean that it's not this dominant voice in your life anymore. And it helps you not continue to tell the story over and over again. Every time you tell a story, you relive it. That's what we believe in shamanism, right? People are like, I need to keep telling my story. It's like, really? You need to let your story go. The story sucks and the ending is shitty. You know what I mean? Bye, story. All done, story time. So mine is the unworthiness of love, or that, the story growing up for me was I was hard to love. So I grew up as an adult. I mean, I'm fine now. I've done a lot of medicine work around it, but I grew up thinking that I was hard to love. It was hard work to love me. And so then I didn't expect anybody to do it because I didn't want to make people work hard, Now I'm I'm easy to love. My new story is I love to love. I don't cut cords for one reason, and I love to share this story. I had somebody come to me, I don't know, must have been 20 some years ago now, and say, I'm a cord cutter, and I can tell that you have a cord that you need to cut to a person. And at the time, I was trying to let go of a relationship that had ended. And so I was like, okay, maybe it is time to cut the cord. I was vulnerable, right? People have to be responsible too. I'm no longer in touch with this person because I don't think you should just come in and hack people's cords. You have cords to people because you're still learning. And when you cut a cord prematurely, you accrue karmic debt. Because you can never reestablish a cord to anyone or anything once you cut it at the same place and in the same dimension and potency. So even if you reestablish the cord, which is what I did, I cut the cord and all of a sudden I was like I could feel like I wasn't done yet. And I was upset with this person for convincing me, although, I had free will, but I listened. And after that time, I never cut a cord again. And what I do is I give my spirit guides permission to cut cords. They know if you're ready to cut it. How do I know? I'm mortal. I only know what I know. The minute I cut that cord, I almost threw up. The person that I cut it with called me right away. We hadn't spoken in a long time. And I was like, holy shit. I mean, I've just disrupted this whole karmic balance. And then I ended up with karmic debt. Don't cut cords. Is my 2 cents, my professional opinion. You can do what you will do, but harm none. You know what I mean? But I think that kind of causes you it stalls your progress rather than advancing it too. Well, all you can do is reestablish the cord and do your best and ask your spirit guides to forgive you and to help you to now integrate that wisdom. And that's all you can do. Learn from it, right? And keep moving. Are you ready to narrow it? Let's narrow that story. You ready? Let's give that story less power. Our spirit guides, Raven Spirit, we ask you to come through this evening and start to narrow this cord around this story that isn't serving us at this new moon. Help us to come into alignment with our freedom and our play and our expansiveness and our deeper wisdom and mystery and knowledge that we have by reducing the volume of this story around what's limiting us tonight. Feels good, doesn't it? Becomes its own meditation. And really feel that energy just condensing, right? It can still get through. You're not accruing karmic debt because you're not like, oh, I'm not going to do that work anymore. But you're not giving it like full frontal access to your energy field. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're just giving it a little. You're saying you can have me, but you can only have that much. You can't have that, right? You're not driving the bus. I'm driving the bus. I'm glad it's helpful for you too. I love you guys too. And I honestly, I say these things out of service to you because it's just, I don't want you to go through what I've gone through. That was a uniquely painful experience. And I think I'm still paying the price for it. But you live and you learn. Seeing that cord narrowed. And now from this place of shifting the story, what we call flipping the script, right? You've just flipped the script, right? From this place, now we set our intention for this new moon. And you can speak this out loud or you can write this down. I already spoke mine out loud before our ceremony. I've been working with my intentions all day. Because my intention really is to get into this, is to rewrite the script around what it means for me to be in relationship. And that's what Libra is about. So what does it mean for me to be playful in relationship? What does it mean for me to be intuitive in relationship? What does it mean for me to be liberated in relationship? And how do I come to have a new story around that being easy and that being effortless and that being accurate and that being, right? It is outer medicine, for sure. And so you can speak, it's not okay to just think your intentions because the universe needs you to imprint the matrix and you can't do that unless you speak or write. And so you can say out loud, my intention at this new moon is to, and finish the sentence, to claim freedom in relationship, to claim playfulness, to claim wisdom, to claim insight, to claim balance, to claim liberation and freedom from old paradigms and old stories that aren't serving me anymore because they're 100 years old and they have no relevance in my life. Right? So I love it. Love and play, people before work. I love that, Ursula. Trusting your intuition for Deanne. Yeah, and so you can write them on the little slips of paper. You can write them in your intention journal, which some of you do. You can write them on your hand. You can write them in your notebook. I always have a notebook with me. Or you can speak it out loud. Speaking it out loud is very powerful too. Change your mindset, acceptance, everything's welcome here. That's such a Libra new moon intention too, right? Having limitless potential. So Nikki's going to flip the script that she's not good enough into I am good enough. In fact, I'm more than good enough. I'm perfect, and I'm in all the right places at the right time. And that being in relationship with me is easy and pleasurable and fun and liberating. And through my own liberation, I create freedom and play and joy for others. Talk out loud for a minute if you can. Through my liberation, I blah. What do you do? If you are free, what do you create? When I am liberated, I create space for others to what? When I am liberated, my heart is open, and that feels like what? When I'm balanced, my emotions feel like what? Right? And just like let that just stream of consciousness. Like, don't judge yourself, don't edit yourself, just talk. I become authentic. I open the door to completion. I experience total bliss. I enjoy happiness and relaxation and flow in my life. And I serve, help, heal, and give love to others limitlessly. Like, I'm just reading yours, right? But they're so beautiful. And I'm worthy of all the success that comes to me by living authentically and creating art to bring healing to others for Melanie, right? So it is. And I'm in the best place. I'm going to have fun in my life. Liberation brings happiness. Cue siren. There's a purple sunset outside. I wish I could show it to you. This sky is absolutely purple. This is Libra. Libra is the... Libra wants to rub your shoulders and blow through. You know, it's like it's the feather. It's the clear off the cobwebs. You know? Let go of trauma. Live in Happyville. You know? It's good stuff. And your ancestors thank you, especially the ones who were bound up tight. You know, my ancestors had really hard lives on both sides, like ridiculously hard. And so when I play for them because they couldn't play. There was no time to play. They couldn't even feed their children. You're not playing when you can't feed your children. So when I play, when I waste time, I waste it for them. And when I find balance, I find balance for them. And when I'm sexually playful, I play for them because they were indentured and entrenched and stuck, you know? And it's like, I do this for them. Don't you? Raven says you do, right? Aho to that. I do waste time. I mean, I deliberately try to play with time. You know what I mean? And you can stretch time and condense time. Who's to say what wasting is? But sometimes I'm like, I'm gonna waste 5 minutes on myself, which is not a waste, right? Aho. The last question I have for you tonight before we close our circle, and this is your homework. What needs to be done now? The reason people don't manifest things very successfully is they don't take the next step. They set the intention and then they go, okay, universe, and they just wait for everything to fall into place. You have to take a step in the direction. What does it look like for you to take one step forward tonight toward activating this? It's fun it's fun homework. It's not like shitty homework. So Myri's going to stop telling the story. That's huge. I mean, can you imagine if you really stopped telling the story and you flip that script? What's going to happen in your life? Releasing what doesn't need to be there, right? Look at that. Angela said, I never knew this feather light side of my Libra mom because of her trauma, and now I'm healing it all. And you heal it for her. Because there's no doubt in my mind that her Libra heart wanted to play and she couldn't. So you play now. Yeah? It's awesome homework. It means I want you to get back to your art. I want you to play that music and dance around your room. It means I want you to indulge your physical passion in whatever way that resonates for her, right? It's believing that you're worthy, which is going to attract a whole different set of characters to your play. We only attract negative people when we don't think we're worthy, because that creates a wormhole for them and they can crawl into that. When you trust in your own sovereignty and your own accurateness, there's no space for that energy to enter. It's not even possible, right? So sing and move and clear and grow and become. It is the medicine of the evening. And when you lose sight, light your 2 wicks. And so, as we extinguish our candle this evening, we commit to infusing our life with duality, with the both and. We let go of always having to be one thing or the other, right? And we release what is no longer serving ourselves in the line with gratitude. And then I want you to take your 2 stones, or whatever stones you're working with tonight. I want you to anoint them with your Raven perfume if you have it. One in one hand and one in the other hand. Spirit guides, Raven spirit guide, we ask that you infuse these crystals with the energy of tonight's ceremony for new beginnings around duality and trust and balance and mystery and wisdom and connection. Knowing that we're here to connect with each other and we're here to open doorways and gateways to each other's evolution. Being willing to receive that, trusting that we're worthy of it, and acknowledging our intuition in the process. We do this tonight for ourselves and for all of our ancestors, past, present, and future. May all generations, backward and forward, know the healing that has taken place tonight. And together we say, Amen, Aho, and so it is. All generations, backward and forward. The time is now. And I can feel them celebrating. I really can. They're proud of us, man. They knew that we would be the ones. They did. I don't think they knew what it would look like, but I think they knew it would happen. And it took you to do it. So twice around, first with our mutual wand, and then with my wand, to say farewell to the guardians of the 7 directions who held us in ceremony this evening. To the guardians of the lower realm, the middle realm, and the upper realm. The mineral kingdom, the earthly kingdom, the astral kingdoms. We give thanks and release the guides and guardians of the vertical channel this evening. Thank you for your wisdom, your grounding, your stability, your faith in us, your ability to help us access the wisdom of all time. We release you with gratitude. To the guides and guardians of the northern gateway, grandfather and father medicine, thank you for keeping us safe, for reminding us of our purpose, teaching us patience, helping us remember to rest and to take good care of ourselves too. As we enter the season together, we release you with gratitude. To the guides and guardians of the Western Gateway, the Water Gateway, the healing chambers, Western medicine, energy of mother and grandmother, emotional purification, heart holding, transmuting of grief and sorrow. We give thanks to you this evening, release you from the ceremony space. To the guides and guardians of the Fire Gateway, the Southern Gateway, we thank you for the energy you brought us tonight. We thank you for the ability to become something new, to shapeshift into a new form that's more deeply aligned with our purpose for incarnating this time. We release you with gratitude. And to the guides and guardians of the Eastern Gateway, this new breath of life, this Libra energy to inspire us now, to engage more duality. When you find yourself saying, I am this, but I'm not that. I am this, but I'm not that. Ask yourself again, can't I be it all? Can't I indulge it all? Can't I experience it all? Is there really something I can't hold? Can I see myself as a being that crosses all boundaries with ease and fluidity? Your soul is vast and wise. So we thank the guardians of the East for helping us hold space for a new level of conscious awareness tonight. And Raven medicine, of course, also giving thanks to our Raven guides for stepping forward this evening. We release you with gratitude. And with that, one of my favorite new moon ceremonies, I have to say, probably of all time, is complete. This one was particularly powerful for me because this is the work I'm doing right now. And it's not an easy place to be, especially given, like, in my life, I'm so many things to so many people. And so to keep the focus on what I need to be for me and not be thinking, well, but is that okay for him? And how does she feel about that? It's like, I guess I just am who I am. And I think for you tonight to just embrace being who you are and knowing how beautifully accurate it is, whatever that is. And that there are people out there who won't judge you as you evolve and grow into some new form of yourself. And giving yourself the key to that freedom tonight is really powerful. Did you enjoy it too? It's true. And I will tell you something, when you become liberated, when you follow this Libra line of medicine, you become a living permission slip to all the people who really want this too, but they just, like, they need a doorway to be opened. So thank you for walking this path too and opening the door for others who need it. I'll also tell you, the work we did tonight is the key to aging well. I am completely serious. I felt older 10 years ago, and I think I looked older 10 years ago than I do now. And it's just because I'm constantly like, what's the newest, lightest, easiest, sexiest, most fun version of this? That's not to say I don't know how old I am and, you know, I need to be responsible and stuff, but it is to say that I think it's okay to play and to be experimental, right? It's like, aging doesn't have to look like what it's always looked like. But what people traditionally do is they get more closed off and more closed off and more closed off with every year until they're kind of hunched over and there's nothing left, rather than like, take the lid off the box. This could be the most fun time of your life wherever you are, but you have to give it permission to be so, right? And not be afraid of, you know, what that might mean. I feel sexy. I will say this is the sexiest time of my life. You know, but I honestly feel younger than I did 10 years ago. But I take active steps to do that, to create that, to open that space. And it makes life more fun for the people who are with me too. You know, it's like, oh, well, if she can do that, then maybe I can do that. So again, it becomes this like living permission slip to be. So enjoy it. Like, why not? Maybe there's a whole new generation of us who aren't gonna go down the way the last generation did. You know, we're gonna slough off all the BS and finally get to the core of what really matters. And I think that's beautiful in whatever way that looks for you, truly. Well, thanks, you guys. It feels good over here, so enjoy. Oh, thank you for that. My dresses you can find on eBay. The company went out of business, but it's called One World, and all my dresses are by the same company. So they're fun and they're cheap and they're sexy. And I travel all over the world. I'm actually getting ready to go out of the country again in about a week and a half. So I always need clothes that I can like roll up in a ball and throw in a suitcase. I can pack for 2 weeks in a very small carry-on because I'm sort of low maintenance that way. But yeah, if you go to eBay and search One World, they have every size from extra small up to 3X, I think. So find yourself a goddess dress and have fun with that. And hop in my suitcase and go for a ride. Thanks, you guys. All right, well, so our circle is closed. We are done. I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, Magica Rosa is on the website. Uncoil perfume is what's left for next month if you would like it. We've made as much as we can. Raven Potion is left from tonight if you didn't get it. Your code is New Moon 18. You get a free little double terminated crystal as our gift with every purchase, but that's only till midnight. And then I will look very much forward to seeing you guys next week. We have a lot going on. Next week's a busy week, so stay tuned. And the little angels, remember I told you about the little angels that, the little obsidian angels that we charge in ceremony? If you weren't with me on Instagram tonight, those are coming Sunday to sagegoddess.com, so don't miss those too if you know what I'm talking about. No, the sets for next month sold out before we started tonight. But sweet Amanda, who runs my design department, was able to make some extra bottles of the perfume called Uncoil. And Uncoil has, as its notes, this is Uncoil, by the way. It's super sexy. I gave a bottle of this to Momo, who came and visited me, and he loved it too. Uncoil has, oops, as my candle falls over. Uncoil has ginger CO2 and fresh ginger, tulsi basil, which is also called holy basil, frankincense, rue, and then frankincense and myrrh. No, frankincense, rue, yes, tulsi basil, ginger CO2, and fresh ginger. And it's holy shit gorgeous. And it's all pure. So if you miss the kit, get the perfume. At least you'll have the energy of that when we gather next month. I know. That's why I was telling you, like, our community has grown a lot, but we haven't. So we can't make more kits than we used to. So from now on, check the website earlier in the day. I'm sorry that we sold out of everything before we started tonight. But I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. So this ring, thank you for asking, Norma. This ring I custom designed. And this is coming in about a week. And then can I show you the other ring that I custom designed? This one is coming earlier. So I designed a Persephone ring with 7 garnets around it, 6 to represent the number of seeds that she ate, and a 7th to represent the seed that you eat. So Persephone rings are coming, custom designed for SG, and then the sun meets the moon, which is labradorite and rainbow moonstone in gold and silver with the triple moon on the side. It's so fun to design jewelry. I'm having the time of my life. So those are the 2 brand new rings that are coming, and I just wore them tonight because I don't even want to take my prototypes off. Stay tuned for those 2. I know, pomegranate rings. This ring was made for me by Momo as a gift. This my turquoise scarab that's hard to get off. I'm very lucky. He had that custom made for me at Tucson last year as a gift. So that I do not have to offer you, but the other 2 I do. And I hope you'll enjoy them. Oh, it was great to see you guys tonight. Well, thank you. And keep doing the work. It pays off. I'm just telling you, like, stay the course. I know spiritual work can be really tricky sometimes, but the alternative isn't good. So stay with it. Keep pushing in. Keep sensing. Keep feeling. Keep staying open. It's, at the end of the day, it is the path to health and peace and prosperity, I promise you. And I love being here to be able to say that to you. You know, my life is better because of the work that we do. And I love being the hermit out here holding the lantern and leading the way for you that way. I know. Have a great rest of your night, everybody. It was a blessing to be with you. Have a beautiful weekend. I'll look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Take care.